Hello, thanks to everyone for coming out today. My name is Ray Banwari. I am the National President of the Mounted Police Professional Association of Canada, and it is in that capacity I address you folks today. Thank you for coming to the press conference. We've called the press conference to talk about some of the legislation that has been introduced by the Trudeau government, and we're very pleased to see that finally we're going to have some legislation that is going to allow members of the RCMP to be able to unionize and address a myriad of issues that are happening that sadly the press is seeing. With me today, I have Benjamin Piper, one of the lawyers from Goldblatt Partners. I've got Solomon Friedman with us too as well from Edelson D'Angelo Friedman Law Corporation that's here, as well as the president of the Quebec Mounted Police Association that's here, as well as my media spokesperson, Rob Creaser, whom the majority of you folks have met or talked to in some capacity. So I'm very pleased to see that the government is bringing positive change for us in the RCMP. MPAC is a national body that has members in every single region, and we have officers in every region, and our fight has always been to try to reform, bring transformational change to our national police force in a positive way. We're all proud members of the force, and we are committed to ensuring that we make it the best that it's ever been. So I will introduce Ben, who can talk to some pieces in regards to the bill that has been tabled. Go ahead.
So I guess on behalf of MPAC, I think it's MPAC's quite pleased to see that after quite a long delay, there is a bill, and the government has introduced a bill that will set out a process that will allow for independent collective bargaining and for an independent union to represent RCMP members. What the bill does is it makes it clear that once the Supreme Court stay on its judgment runs out on May 16th, MPAC will be able, and a bargaining unit will be, a bargaining agent will be able to file an application, as of that day, even if the bill has not yet been passed, and that any applications that have been filed, any proceedings that have been started, will automatically be carried over into the new process once that's put in place. So I think that's a positive development. As expected, it lays out a process for a single national bargaining unit of RCMP members and reservists. And otherwise, I think MPAC was happy to see that the bill puts in place the same procedure around certifying a union and around issues like unfair labor practices that could be committed by an employer or other groups during a bargaining process. So that gives, I think, really essential protection to groups like MPAC in trying to certify a bargaining unit. And I think, MPAC was pleased to see that the process will allow for binding arbitration on the contents of a collective agreement. So it doesn't allow for the right to strike, which is standard for police unions, but it will allow for binding arbitration on the terms of a collective agreement. But while MPAC is happy to see that the bill finally recognizes that RCMP members and reservists should have the right to form a bargaining unit, I think there are a few parts of the bill that MPAC will be advocating for changes in the committee process and for changes in the way that collective bargaining is structured. I think one of the really notable parts is that it, compared to some other provincial police collective bargaining schemes, it does have a large number of issues which can't be put to the bargaining table and can't be put into a collective agreement. This includes issues like discipline. I think notably it includes issues over staffing, which are completely excluded from the collective agreement from the collective bargaining process. Notably, I think in light of some recent events, a future RCMP union also could not negotiate anything about protecting their members from harassment into a collective agreement. That would be part of a separate process. So I think those are all some of the issues that MPAC will be advocating for the right to represent their members and to negotiate terms of a collective agreement that will help their members in the future once a union is put in place. And of course, once those issues can't be, because those issues can't be included in a collective agreement, they won't be the subject of grievances. They can't be brought to independent arbitration, and those are issues that I think are very important to MPAC. So I think those are some of the preliminary views that we'll put forward on the bill. But obviously, MPAC I think looks forward to future study and discussion around some of these points.